Hey guys, how much does a bookkeeper charge for a small business? So in this video, we're covering is first a brief introduction. Number two, we're going to be doing understanding your pricing goals. Number three, we're going to talk about pricing strategies and client perception. Next, we'll talk about marketing and client education. Next, sales techniques and client conversion. After that, our pricing models. Six is going to be growth and scaling, and then we're going to conclude and talk about like what we learned. Okay, so today we're diving deep into a topic that's crucial for all like bookkeepers out there. Same thing for accountants as well. It's mastering your pricing strategy. So whether you're just starting out or you've been like in the field for years and think your pricing could use a revamp, this video is tailored for you. We're going to explore the nuts and bolts of pricing strategies in the bookkeeping world to help optimize your earnings and grow your business. If you find today's content like helpful and you're thinking like maybe Bryce can help me personally expand my business, don't hesitate. Click the link inside the description below to book a call with me. Let's work together to boost your business to the next level. Okay, now let's get started. Let's kick things off by talking about goals. So one of the first things I ask bookkeepers who come to me for advice is about their financial targets. So just today when I was writing this, but yesterday when I filmed it. So someone was asking if charging $20 per hour was too low. As I often say, like it depends. If you're aiming for a six-figure salary, let's crunch some numbers, okay? So you want to make $100,000 per year. What you're going to want to do is divide that by 2080. 2080 is about the total working hours in a year if you're clocking like 40 hours a week. Okay, so if you divide that by 2080, the total working hours in the year, that comes out to about $48 per hour that you need to be charging just to meet your baseline without considering taxes and expenses. But what if you don't want to work full time? Suppose you want to work like 20-hour work week, then you're looking at needing to charge about $96 per hour to hit those same annual earnings. So setting clear financial objectives isn't just about putting a number on a piece of paper. It's about aligning your business practices and your pricing to meet the goals effectively and efficiently. Okay, so step number two, pricing, strategy, and client perception. Now, let's dive into a strategy and perception. So my rule is never charge less than about $500 per month for your services. Now, you might find that to be surprising, especially if you're accustomed to charging like $100, $200 per month. But hear me out, okay? The key to is to effectively communicate your value. Now, imagine telling a client their annual service costs less than the cost of like high-end laptops, like say 1.5 MacBook Pros. If they value their financial health less than they value a laptop, there's definitely a disconnect. Now, pricing is not just about covering your time, it's about reflecting the significant value and benefits you bring to your client's business. It's about showing them that without your expertise, they could be missing out on so much more than the cost of a few gadgets. Now, your role is crucial to ensure they see that the cost of your services as an investment rather than an expense. Okay. Now, this approach is all about framing and educating your clients on the true value you bring to their business, helping them understand like what you offer enhances their financial well-being and overall success. Okay, so next thing, marketing and client education. So visibility in the market is key. People need to know that you exist before they can ever consider like hiring you. So you have to start making like connections. So I like using LinkedIn for this, but don't stop there. It's essential to educate potential clients over time with your profile. Now, one thing that one reason why I think that which platform you choose is important to pricing is because certain platforms attract certain business owners who have certain perceptions and are looking for certain things. So years ago I tried this thing called like Thumbtack, right? And on Thumbtack, like people will basically say like they're looking for a job or not a job, they're looking for like a bookkeeper, they're looking for a accountant, they look for some kind of service provider. But they usually go there because they expect that it's gonna be like very, very cheap work because they don't really value it. Versus going to a place like LinkedIn where you're choosing who you go after, you're going to be attracting better quality people because you're not going after people that are like, discount hunting. Okay. So it really does like the marketing determines the price you can charge based on what are the alternatives the person's dealing with and what the business is doing like number wise. Cool. Next thing, sales and client conversion. Credibility is your best currency. It's where many bookkeepers falter. Now, you've got to have strong testimonials and case studies that showcase your success and build trust. When you speak to potential clients, like these successes should do most of the talking, making the conversation easier and more convincing. It's not just about selling your service, it's about helping the prospective client understand like what they're missing without you. You'll be present to yourself, not just, you need to really present yourself, not just as another service provider, but as an indispensable part of their business growth strategy. Now, this part of the process is about making them realize the cost of not having you is higher than the cost of actually hiring you. Now, they should see you as a crucial asset, one that can identify and fix missed opportunities and financial leaks that only a seasoned professional like you and yourself can address. Now, oftentimes I call this doing what's called the authority section. So the authority section of the call is like in the beginning of the call, you want to introduce yourself and really present your credibility and why a person should listen to you. What I found is that if you have a really strong version of that, then the business owners generally tend to be like, okay, they perk up and they kind of respect that a little bit more. Now, just because you have a strong authority section does not always mean you're going to get the client, but it definitely makes it a lot easier for you to objection handle. It makes it a lot easier for them to want to give you the right answers without being kind of slimy and slippery. Cool. Next thing, pricing model. So deciding between hourly and flat rates can be tricky. But let's hash out which is better based on my experience. I generally recommend starting with flat rates. The reason why is because it simplifies everything from a client's decision-making process with your financial planning. So clients really appreciate the predictability, and flat rates provide just that, the predictability. They know exactly what they're paying each month, so there's no surprise. The stability is actually beneficial for you as it stabilizes your cash flow and makes managing your finances much, much easier. So taking to example, for instance, a client from my program, so Audrey, we started off with a flat rate of about $4,000 per month using a simple pricing calculator provider. So our first client was $4,000 per month. Now, this approach not only simplified her billing process, but also allowed her to predict her monthly earnings and scale her operations without increasing her workload or the number of hours she worked each week. Now, that flat rate model is truly advantageous for managing your growth efficiently. Right, because sometimes what happens too is like as you start working with a client, you're gonna get more efficient and get better. So you don't want like the amount of money you're making from the client to drop just because like you got 20% better. You don't want to make 20% less money, right? So I do like doing the flat rates in that particular case. Next thing, growing and scaling. So scaling a business isn't just about adding more clients, it's about adding the right clients, like those who respect your time and value your expertise. Now, this is where strategic scaling comes into play. You get to focus on working smarter, not necessarily focusing harder. You might consider subcontracting some of your workload to other like talented people in your network, and this allows you to really focus on acquiring larger clients or expanding your service offerings. So let's revisit the example of Audrey. Once she was comfortable like managing her current load, we explored ways to strategically grow her business. By subcontracting lower tier work, she was able to devote her energies towards higher paying clients. Effectively, it doubled her income without necessarily doubling her hours. Now, this approach not only optimized her workload, but also enhanced her business' overall performance and client quality. Okay. So, and the reason why is because she could really focus on going after bigger clients because all of her other small clients and any client that she had that just wasn't what she wanted to work on, she could actually have that be handed off. And then she could focus if she wanted to be like a better quality client that like needed like higher level services, she could focus on that and slash or she can now take on better not necessarily better clients, but like clients with like higher transactional volume without having to be nervous about like running out of time because she had that team behind her. So it just lets you scale with a lot more confidence, knowing you can actually like fulfill on the work, not just like get overwhelmed and not be able to handle it. Okay. So in conclusion, remember that mastering your pricing isn't about putting a higher price tag on your services. It's about understanding the value you provide and communicating it effectively to your clients. So again, it's not just about the price tag. It's not just like, okay, I'm going to go charge this guy $5,000. It's like there's a lot of different factors and criteria that need to go into that in order for someone not only to see your price 5,000 per month, but be willing to pay it, right? Because you can say any price. You can say something's $1 million, but if no one's willing to pay it, it doesn't really matter what price you say or what price you have. Okay. So it's about strategic positioning and constant growth in your offerings and client base. Align your business practices with your financial goals and position yourself as a vital asset to your clients' businesses. So take the leap, refine your approach, and watch as your bookkeeping business reaches new heights. Now, if you're ready to take your business to the next level, or if you want to get started, and maybe need a little bit extra guidance, don't hesitate. Hit the link inside the description below. Let's see if we can help you out inside of the program. I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.